名乗るのが遅れました。俺は騎士団の魔物討伐部隊にいるボルフレードと言います。怪奇族の末っ子なので気を使わずボルフと呼んでください。
Dahlia in Bloom episode 3. I love that Dahlia, she just casually saved her future husband. And you know it, right? Like that moment that happens when you look up and you're just like, ooh. I love how she just casually saved her future husband. I was like, okay. Although I'm excited about it, and obviously the writing's all on the wall, you know, the thing that I'm not excited about is an anime trope. Of course, she pretended to be a male, okay? Of course, she pretended to be a man. And of course, the anime is going to have her and future husband get closer as he unravels the mystery of her actually being a woman kind of thing, right? Hopefully, it doesn't last long. Hopefully, it's like next episode, we just, you know, it immediately gets foiled or something like she comes back to the capital or he comes to find her, you know, he comes to find his savior and he realizes she's a woman and we can just move on from it. I will tell you now, though, if it's one of those things to where the... not misconception, because that's not the word. How do you call it? If it goes on too long to where she continues to pretend to be a man kind of thing, I'm out. You know, I just have to say that now. Like that's one of the things I hate the most is like, you know, for no reason, like this is not Mulan entering the army, you know, but for no real reason, just to kind of like exude mystery within the story, the woman pretends to be a man, and then now the actual main, you know, the actual main lead is now questioning like his sexuality or something. He's like, well, maybe I did fall in love with a man. I guess just fuck it. I'm gonna go forward. And that happens so often. And then they're like, oh, surprise. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they fall on each other. He gets a little, you know, a cup worth of goodies in his hand. He's like, oh shit. Like, okay. It can work. It could be funny. It's just, I've seen so many stories. Like, I mean, too many. Like, I've seen so many. I've read so many that ends up happening. And it just gets old, you know? So that's my one worry about the show so far is like, when she was dressing up to go, you know, to be a man and to go into the forest and stuff, I was like, oh yeah, I get it, you know? Woman alone in the forest, obviously... it's like women going into a back alley kind of thing. Yeah, you're putting yourself in unneeded danger. Not, you know, not that anything would happen, but in case it does, you have that one additional thing of being a woman, you know, it kind of makes sense. So it makes sense to dress up as a man, set yourself up like she did, voice changer, pretty cool stuff. Whatever her little bracelet does, weapons, the ability to, you know, really to throw stones and stuff. So she set herself up for success. So story-wise, I totally get why she did it. You know, protection, safety, make sure she's, you know, good to go as she enters the forest. Totally understand that. Annoyances, meeting hubby as a man. And secondly, she didn't do anything in the forest. Like, she got there and, like, stumbled upon homeboy over here. So she never gathered anything. So, okay, I'm gonna let that go. The rest of the episode, though, it's like, yo, this... hold on, 2 seconds. This piece of shit, dude. The Tobias or whatever his name was. What a POS, man. Like, he didn't just meet Guild Girl and they're like, oh, I think we're perfect for each other. Let's hook up. He must have been cheating on Dahlia for a while. And it must have started when he tried to reduce her looks, her personality, her temperament. You know, he was trying to control, like, you know, don't wear those glasses, change your hair, be obedient, basically, like, you know, bark for me, dog. Like, he was probably cheating on her from, like, the get-go. And I was like, what a piece of shit to do that to her. To not only demean her all the way down, but then to be cheating on her the whole time. And then on top of cheating on her the whole time, then he goes to break off his engagement because he's in love with this other bitch. It's like, what a fucking asshole, you know? So that hit me pretty hard, and it's a positive because I'm always touting like, hey, if the show rustles up an emotion in you, then you're watching something worth watching. And I was like, yeah, I get, but then she's better than us probably, because I would go and like, be amiable, and then like I would set that house on fire or something crazy. You know what I mean? Like, call me Dom Arsonist. You know what I mean? Like, we're about to go, wow, fireball. You know what I mean? Like I figured out, like, oh, I don't know, the magic gems, they exploded, homie. I don't know what happened. Not me though. Not my house no more. Not my problem. But she's really amiable, and she's doing it from a good place because she had really good friends surrounding her, and they and her all realized she wasn't even in love with this dude. She was just going through it. She was going through the motions, because her dad wanted to, and it was a familial thing. And she has remembrance in her past world how she was also alone, and she died alone. She was working alone, and in this life she wanted to do things a little different. That maybe even if she wasn't in love, but she could grow to love, which is obviously the wrong way. Listen here, kids. If you're not in love, it's not like, if you're not in love, just let them go. Like, just don't even pursue it, because like without love, it just doesn't work. You're just a hostage. You know what I mean? You're just like this old style, like, marriage type deal. So you can't really grow to love in that sense, But she realized like, hey, this is the, she was trying to do what was right, but she realized this is the better path for me. To be happy, do what she wants, fill her cup with what makes her passionate, and do it without any ties to some, POS, in the back. And with no romance in her future, but if it happens, it happens. And hopefully she keeps that open mind. But I love how she has really good people like Irma and the green-haired girl and Irma's husband and the people at the guild. Like her and, her dad specifically created a lot of friendships and a lot of really strong connections because he was just a good dude. And that has extended down to her from not only being his daughter, but she has also represented herself and been really likable to a lot of people. So she has a lot of connections that being tied to some POS like that Tobias dude would only allow that person to abuse. But now with him out of the picture, she has a good amount of money. And now she can go and use those connections just for herself and just be completely selfish. But instead of like her past life, just being like a corporate slave, she can now do something that is financially viable and can kind of like fuel her passion. Because she said, like, I love being a magic artificer or whatever. I can't say the name, but like her job, she loves it. And then, obviously at the end of the episode, she now stumbled upon future husband, who seems like he is yoked and also like what did he say he was? Some kind of like officer of something. He said his name's Wolf, by the way. And he is the youngest child of a low-ranking noble. And he is, damn, what did he say he was? He's a knight of some member of the Knight's monster suppression force. Wolfred is his name. So love is, besides Dahlia, love is also a bloomin'. Anyways, a lot of strong thoughts this episode. Hopefully you guys made it to the end. I know some are going to comment at the beginning portion when I was just like, so interested to see on those comments as well. But I'll see you guys next week for episode number 4. Dahlia and Bloom, loving it. I just don't love the little trope, about the, we'll see how long that lasts, because that is the one thing that for me, on a very personal level, when it comes to enjoyment of these types of stories, can ruin it for me. So we'll see what happens. See you next week, my friends. Have a good weekend.